On eBay, it's critical to not only be organized, but to streamline your processes on eBay. And today I'm going to talk to you about your business policies and why you should be cleaning it up every so often. And I'm also going to show you how to create a business policy. So let's do that on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. Welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy. Today I am going to show you how to manage your business policies. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because it seems like no matter what I do, eBay continues to create policies for me and or copies of existing policies, and I find that I just have too many things when I use my drop down when I'm selecting my shipping policy. Sometimes I'll toggle back and forth between my payment policy, one for fixed price listings where I want them to pay right away, and another for an auction listing where I have the buyer just pay. Of course, we have no choice. The buyer has to pay when they're darn good and ready to, but we have to have a policy set up for that when we're running an auction. Now, eBay somehow has decided they were going to create one of their own. I don't know why, but I'm going to show you, what I do to manage these policies. And I think it's a good idea to get in here and to manage your policies every 6 months or so. I do all my listings now through the app and then go onto the PC. But I had these problems before. Years ago, I've had these problems where eBay would create copies of policies, and or like if you use a program like InkFrog, for instance, they like to create their own crazy named policies, and then now you're dropping down looking for a certain shipping policy, and there's all this gobbledygook that you have to navigate through. And so I'm going to show you here, I'm going to go over to my computer and we're going to look at my policies, and I'll kind of talk you through what I do, and hopefully this will help someone out there. So I wanted to make a video today to talk about your policies. Now, some of you don't even have policies set up, and I just think it's a good idea. Some people like to gravitate towards just selecting individual shipping at the time they're making a listing within the eBay app, and that's what Biscuit Butt Archie does, and he seems to think it's very fast. But I just think it's a good idea to set up your policies. So what you want to do is you want to go into where it says your name and then go down to account settings, okay, and then that'll open up my eBay and a bunch of preferences, and you want to go down to under selling where it says business. I'll make that a little bit bigger here. Business policies. Okay. And then you'll click on that. Now, as you can see, I have a ton of different policies. Now, for me, I only have so many set up, but there's some things that are kind of happening with the app, and I don't understand why. But if you look down here, you see a lot of different policies. Some are shipping, some are for payment, some are return policies, and that's down by the type. So we can sort that out by type. Now, ideally, you want to have your payment policies set up. I do have a default payment policy, which is the eBay Payments Immediate Payment #1. This is kind of what I had it named. But for whatever reason, underneath, if you could see here, I'll try to blow it up some more, it shows eBay Managed Payments in some weird number. I don't understand what that is, and I believe it's just a standard eBay Managed Payments policy. Now, when I click on Edit, it doesn't really see. It doesn't have the require immediate payment when buyer uses buy it now. That's when buying your item, right? So you don't want that you want that checked. You don't want to leave that blank, because that basically allows your buyer to treat it like a best offer where they don't have to pay. And in this particular case, I don't want that, and I'm going to have to get rid of it. And I will do that here later in the video, because I need, you see there's 13 listings that are associated with that. and I'm going to have to take these listings. Now, chances are one of these 13 listings have an offer out or something like that, and it's going to be impossible for me to do this cleanly. I'm probably going to have to end and sell similar on some of these listings just to clear this. I don't understand why eBay did this. In fact, many times, I don't know if I saw the video. If I do, I'll show it to you here. But I took a screenshot video of where I selected eBay payments, immediate payment. And after I selected that and got out of the payment options, this thing popped up and it replaced it. It was weird. And I just kind of said, okay, well, whatever. I'll just deal with it later. I never really did. And that's kind of what I decided. You know what? I need to fix these policies. Chances are your policies are fouled up as well, and you might have a lot of stuff here. But it's always a good idea every so often to go through your policies. Now, I have my payment policies. I really only want two, one for auction and one for immediate payment. So as you can see, I have one auction currently for sale. Okay, so I need to make sure I have that. If you're ever planning on doing auctions, it's a good idea. And the difference is no immediate payment versus immediate payment. eBay does not require people who win an auction to pay immediately. So they won't even let you in the listing if you have immediate payment set. That's why you have to have two. Now, the return policy, I have returns accepted, buyer pays. Returns accepted, buyer 30 days. Now, I've got to find out, I'm going to have to dig deeper to find out why this is here. And it might have something to do with international, but I should only have one. And so I need to get in there and find out which one I need to move. Right now, my returns accepted, buyer pays is default. Now, if I go my default 30-day, if I do free returns, which I have 168 of my listings offering free returns, that's where I would use that. So that's more of my smaller items that are under a pound. So now I go down further. Now I have a lot of different shipping policies. Now I have my main shipping policy, which is default. If I have anything that's under a pound, a lot of times I'll just do free shipping and build the shipping into the actual price. I have you can see a bunch of $9.99 flat rate shipping, and some of these are copies. Okay, one is a 1-day handling, which has 149. So I need to get in here and fix a lot of these because I should only have $9.99. Well, I take that back. It looks like this one's a domestic only. So sometimes if you have certain kinds of items that are made with certain types of wood, or if you have like gun parts, things that would be prohibited in other countries, you will be reminded that you need to have a policy that only allows you to ship within the U.S. So that's why I have a domestic policy versus one that's just an everything policy. Now my international policies are built into this, so it's not saying that it's going to be $9.99 shipping internationally. On these, I have my policies where it's $9.99 for U.S. and then international is more of a calculated situation. I have a $7.99, which really, it says priority. That's an older one. I need to get rid of it. There's two listings tied to it. Here's a handgun accessory shipping policy, U.S. only, because some states don't allow, like New York, I think, don't allow you to sell handgun parts to. I think Oregon's another one. And so you have to exclude certain locations. So that it'll remind you that you need to have a policy set up like that. Again, I got another main free shipping policy that shouldn't even be there. I have a $4.99 shipping policy, so that's anything that's under 8 ounces. A medium mail, that's a calculated situation, so it calculates the medium mail rate based on the weight and size of the packaging. I have a $6.99 standard shipping. It says clothing, but really in 1 to 2 pounds. You can see that's an older policy, but I haven't really messed with it much as far as this title. For me, I assign this to listings that are anywhere between 9 ounces and a pound with eBay, and things that are going to cost me around $5 or $6 to ship, and that's kind of what I'll do here. And then, of course, again, I got another first class $4.99 first class policy. Anything that's over 2 pounds, generally I'll assign a calculated rate. So I have calculated UPS ground is generally 3 pounds or more. My item is going to go by UPS ground, sometimes by priority mail, but most of the time calculated UPS ground. Here's another copy of the $6.99 with one listing assigned. free shipping, no international. So if I have a listing, and this says I have one that's assigned to it. If I have a listing where I'm offering free shipping, but I can't offer international shipping, then, and then I think I have a special Puerto Rico shipping policy, and I have that set up to where it doesn't allow UPS ground. It's a little different. It's USPS only, and I don't have anything assigned to that. So that might have to go. And that's my policies. But generally, eBay has created one, the one that I showed you earlier, right here, the managed payments, where it's not even right. It's not even, because if we look at the one I'm using, if we edit the one I'm using, it'll show you that immediate payment is required, and eBay's taking its sweet time. But you see, require immediate payment is selected, okay? So what I need to do is I need to go through this, and I need to clean it up. And that's what I would suggest that you do. So for instance, I'll just make it simple. So before I can edit or delete a policy, you have to get rid of the stuff over here, okay? So right now it's showing I have 2 listings that are assigned to the $7.99 policy. So I'm going to view those listings, okay? So it shows me that I have a PlayStation dual controller charger dock, and I have a wireless karaoke Bluetooth microphone. So in both cases, I'll just go and edit selected, or actually, I'm sorry, edit all 2 listings, so that's fine. And what I want to do, once this comes up, is I'll select both, and they're both showing a $7.99, and I believe these are both under £1 anyway. So I'm going to go over to shipping policy, and I'm going to change the shipping policy, change it to, I want the $6.99 policy. And I don't want the one that says copy, because I'm going to try to get rid of, later on, I'm going to try to get rid of the ones that say copy. So priority, and then my other policies don't need to change, and then apply. So once I've done that, I'll submit all. No insertion fees, don't even bother with that. Just hit submit. It says 0 of 2 listings processed. Okay, so it says they're live. Now, it may take a minute or two for this to actually show up, but I'm going to go back to my account settings. I'm going to go back to my business policies, and then I'm going to look for the $7.99. Here it is, the $7.99. And look, it shows 0 listings are attached to that now. Now I can safely click on this and delete policy, okay? And it's gone. But remember, you can go in here and try to delete policies, but if you have at least 1 listing associated with it, it's not going to allow you to do that. So I plan on doing that for all these. I'm not going to waste your time, but I'm going to do the same thing for this issue that we were talking about before with the payment policy right here that's created by eBay. I'm going to take these 13 listings. I'm probably going to have to sell similar on a couple of them if I've already had offers put out on these. It won't let me modify the listing, and I'm just going to handle it that way. I'll clean these up, and I want to add another policy. So I just wanted to show you how to create a policy for those of you who have not created a policy. So same location, you're going to go where it says create a policy. Now in my case, I just want to create another shipping policy. I want to create a policy because I sell a lot of shoes, and for the most part they're 2 to 3 pounds, sometimes 4 pounds, and they are in the 15 by 8 by 6 USPS mailing box that are used for shoes. And I figure that I'm charging $9.99 a lot for those, even the 3 and 4 pounders, because the 3 and 4 pounders, I want to go USPS mail, but I don't want to undercharge for shipping. I've been doing that lately. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do $12.99 of the policy name, USPS shipping policy for shoes, okay? And these are for shoes over 2 pounds. And it's good to have a clear title here. I have so many characters. I think it's around the same amount of characters you'd have on a listing. But it's clear. It's good to have a clear title so that you have an understanding. If you have a lot of different policies, you can distinguish one from the other. Also, if you have someone else helping you, it's going to be a lot easier for them to understand when to apply a certain policy. Now, if you have that situation, you'd go in here and put the description to maybe clarify. to whomever needs to know, as to why you're implementing this policy. Again, I kind of did that in the title. And you could set it as your default, but I'm not. I'm only going to use this in certain cases. Like half the shoes I sell are over 2 pounds, and I don't want to get a loss on. A lot of times these shoes are like $12, $13 a ship USPS, and that's a $2, $3 hit every time, all because I don't have a policy set up, and I don't want to go in and manually do it for every listing. So in this case, I'm going to do a flat rate. It gives you the option to do flat, calculated, freight if you're dealing with really large items, which I've never done, and local pickup only if you want to arrange a local pickup. But I don't even have a policy like that set up because I just don't deal with local pickup. So in this case, flat. I'm going to bring this down a little bit so you can see the whole screen. So for me, this is going to be a USPS priority mail situation. And I got to find the right policy. So here it is, USPS priority mail, 1 to 4 business days. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to set $12.99. I'm not going to put each additional because a lot of times I don't sell these shoes as a multiple quantity listing, so it wouldn't make sense. So I'm going to leave that blank. And then for me, it's same business day. I have my shipping preferences. You can go click here, and it'll allow you to change the actual hours. So for me, I have anything that's purchased by 9 a.m. is same day. If it's after 9 a.m., it's now next day, and that's perfect for me. So I have same day. And then global shipping, you could set it for global shipping. I'll leave it default there, and it works out. It just works out for me. Excluded locations, you can go in here and exclude locations if you like, but I'm dealing with USPS priority mail, so I can still deal with PO boxes. It's at the very bottom if you want to exclude PO boxes. But if you're making a policy that's using, let's say your intended use is like UPS or FedEx, just keep in mind you're going to want to go in here and click on that and get exclude PO boxes, because I can tell you that you're going to have an issue for some people who, if you don't have that checked, you're not going to be able to ship it by UPS ground or FedEx because they don't ship to the PO boxes. So just keep that in mind. So I guess that looks okay. I guess a lot of these countries that are selected automatically are ones that really either don't work with the global shipping program. That's changing now. That's changing to eBay's standard international shipping rates. But it's still the same process. So again, I'm just going to hit apply. That looks good to me. And then I'm going to save this. Okay, so just simply save it. Now, when I go to a listing, so I'm going to find one of my $9.99 listings that I want to change it to. So let's see, I have 149 listings that are set up with that particular policy. So I'm going to find a pair of heavier shoes that I'm aware of that's over 2 pounds. And I think it's these men's hiking boots. So I'm going to edit this. Okay, and these are a pair of new boots, and I know that they're over, scroll down here, they're going to be over, they're 3 pounds. So right now, if I ship this 3 pound, it's in a 13 by 10 by 6 box, and let's say it goes across the country, I'm going to be spending about $13 on shipping, and I'm probably going to be forced to ship it by UPS ground to keep it even lower than that. But let's say I have these shoe boxes, this USPS shoe boxes. You can't ship those. Even if you put them in a poly bag, you can't ship those inside the poly bag. You can't ship them by UPS or FedEx. You have to ship them by USPS. So I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be stuck paying extra shipping. I could do calculated. Now, that's an option you could do, but I would rather just have a fixed price. Here we go. Here's that policy I created, $12.99 USPS shipping policy for shoes over 2 pounds. Fixed price, be done with it, and move on. So I'm going to revise that. Okay, so that listing's revised now. And then when I go into my policies, account settings under business policies, We just simply have to locate the $12.99 policy, and it's not updated yet, but it'll should show a quantity of 1 here. Anytime you make a change to eBay listings, it usually takes a few minutes for whatever changes you make to show up as live. So for me, I could do a refresh, and it's okay. It looks like it has added that. So now you can see it's added that 1 listing. I have 1 active listing under this policy that I made. So hopefully this helps you figure out how to set up your listings or your policies. So you'll simply want to do at least 1 for payment. If you're doing only buy it nows, set up just 1 for payment. If you have some auctions, set up another one for your auctions, like I have here. No need for more than 2, which I need to get rid of this. Your return policy, if you want free returns, you only need 1. But for me, anything over 3 pounds, I will have the buyer pay for returns. So I have multiples here I need to get rid of. And shipping is really up to you. But for me, I find it easier to have a tiered system to where I have a set price for up to 8 ounces, a set price for up to 1 pound, a set price for up to 2 pounds, and then calculated over that. Now I made a special one, as you guys saw, for my shipping policies for shoes that are over 2 pounds, because that's just kind of the way I want to roll with that. And that's pretty much it, guys. So clean up your policies, because it just causes a lot of confusion when you click on that drop down box in your listing, and just a lot of noise, and you want to keep it as simple as possible. Spend 20 minutes to fix these things so that you can minimize the number of policies that you have to sort through. So guys, what do you think? Is this something that you can maybe benefit from? It's my opinion that you should be as organized and streamlined as possible when you are doing business on eBay, and your business policy is just one part of that. And while it's not the end of the world, you can navigate through all this gobbledygook if you want. It's just, to me, it's a lot easier to and faster to navigate through the app or listing online when you only have the listing policies or the different policies that you intend to use, and get rid of the stuff, the extra policies that you have no use for or just don't intend on using. So let me know down below your thoughts. I'm curious, is this something that you can use? Is it something that is going to make listing for you a little bit easier? I can tell you, the less options that I have to deal with when I'm dealing with that drop down menu, the better it is for me. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please let me know down below, but hit the like button. That helps the algorithm get the word out that I'm actually putting something useful out. While you're at it, hit that subscribe button, guys. I think only like 35% of you watching right now have even bothered hitting that subscribe button, and it would help me and the channel a whole lot if you would consider subscribing if you watch the videos. Of course, I wouldn't want you to subscribe if you don't. And then, of course, hit that notification bell, so when I go live, like we did yesterday, we had 130 people watching and contributing to the conversation, and it was really cool. And we have that type of conversation on a weekly basis on Mondays and Friday afternoon evenings. So be a part of it. Hit that notification bell. So videos like this, they're technical, yes, but they help you learn the different features and the different ways to streamline your business. Yet it's just another example of how sometimes flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day, and we will talk to you very soon.